and welcome to Resume Writing with the University of Regina Cooperative Education Program. In this workshop, you will learn how to prepare a great co-op portfolio, including your cover page, resume, references, and transcripts. You'll also learn more about highlighting your skills and experience to catch a potential employer's attention. The information in this workshop is based on resume writing resources, as well as feedback from the people you want to work for, our co-op employer partners. Your co-op portfolio always includes three things. Number 1, a cover page. Number 2, your resume. And number 3, your transcripts. These three documents, always tied together and always in this order, make up a complete co-op portfolio. When you're applying for jobs for co-op or internship, you must create a separate portfolio for every job that you apply for. You will also need to make sure that you create a default portfolio so that coordinators can apply for jobs on your behalf. We will use your default portfolio to send to an employer so that you don't miss out on any opportunities. If you have any letters of recommendation from a previous employer, or if the job description asks you to submit a writing sample, please include these documents in your portfolio as well. The entire purpose of the portfolio is to get a job interview. If you have the correct documents together neatly, you improve your chances of being selected for an interview. Now let's look at the individual pieces of the portfolio. Every time you apply for a job, you need to include a cover page because it will entice an employer to look at your resume. We have developed a cover page template that we ask you to fill out and submit with every job application. This cover page captures information that's important to employers, like your program of study and whether you're available for 4 or 8 months. If you would like to write a formal cover letter, you can. Although a full-page cover letter is not necessary, you can include one in your portfolio after the completed cover page template. The template is located on the co-op website under Forms, and also on the PlacePro database under Online Forms and Documents. You must make sure that you customize each cover page for every single job that you apply for. There is space at the bottom of the template for you to explain why you think that you were qualified for that particular job. Please make sure that you refer to the job description to give specific examples of how you meet the employer's criteria. If they ask for leadership qualities, you should write, "I have leadership qualities demonstrated by my captain of my hockey team, group leader in my class assignment, etc." Employers who are looking for a specific skill set are only going to interview those who show that skill in their cover letter. Please do not put a general statement and use the same one to apply to every job. Also, please make sure to fill that box in. Leaving it blank looks like you're unable to follow direction, are not really interested in the job you're applying for, or are just plain lazy. None of these qualities will entice the employer to look at your resume and invite you for an interview. Do make sure that you review your cover letter before uploading it. The cover page text box is limited, and writing a long statement will decrease the size of the font, rendering the content unreadable. Please keep your comments to a paragraph in length or attach a full-page cover letter if you have a lot to say. Remember, the cover letter makes the employer want to look at your resume. Your resume is your chance to highlight your experience, skills, and accomplishments. Your resume should contain these main categories: education, experience, skills, and references. Education. Describe any programs, schooling, awards or scholarships, or personal development courses that you have taken, like WMIS or First Aid. Transferable and related skills. Divide this category into skill sets and describe how you've used them. Work experience. Put down any related work experience that you may have had. This will give the employer a chance to learn your work background and gauge your experience level. Volunteer experience is also a good idea. Many employers like to see what volunteer experience you may have. Even volunteering can give you work skills that you may have not considered relevant. If you have never held a part or a full-time job previously, volunteer experience is especially important. References. Please make sure that you add 3 references to your resume. A minimum of 2 and no more than 4 is required. References available upon request is not acceptable. These references can include work or academic references, or, as a last resort, a personal reference. A personal reference is not preferred, but if you are having a problem finding a professional reference, please make sure that you include no more than one personal reference. It's always a good idea to give your references a copy of your resume so that they are prepared in the event that an employer calls. Make sure you identify who the references are, such as supervisor, professor, family friend, and indicate whether the phone number is for work or for home. The look of your resume is very important. Your resume should not be more than 2 pages. As you gain more experience, this may change, but 2 pages is recommended. It's very important to list any entry on your resume in reverse chronological order. Please make sure that you do not start a category on one page and have it continue on to the next. Move your categories around so that the entire category fits on the same page. Most importantly, make sure that you check your grammar and spelling. Misspelled words draw attention to a reader's eyes to the mistake and focus their attention, so make sure that the employer is focused on your abilities, not your lack of attention to detail. The presentation of your resume is extremely important. Your presentation of your skills can be the determining factor in who an employer chooses to interview, regardless of your background. One of the most common mistakes is to constantly use and reuse certain words, rendering them redundant. Drop I or am able to or other repeated words. Instead, use proper descriptions and verbs that are related to the skill. It is also a good idea to reread your resume at the end to ensure that you are using the correct tense. If you are currently engaged in something, use a present tense. If you are no longer doing something, use past tense. It can be very confusing for an employer if you mix them up. This leaves them unsure whether a skill is being used or not. Quantifying results is also a great way to promote your abilities or achievements. Use numbers and percentages as often as you can to show how you meet targets, are able to handle deadlines, or achieve results. For example, increase sales 15% by blank in blank amount of time, or 2+ years experience supervising blank staff. The average employer will take 30 seconds to look at a resume before making a decision to meet with you. That being said, use bullets and phrases that are easy to read and write. Include a professional email address on your resume. Many students use email addresses such as honeybunny1993@yourdomain.com or hockeyislife@yourdomain.com. This does not look professional, and employers may not take you and your resume seriously. It's a good idea to use your Regina email or set up a firstname.lastname account in this situation. If you do not use this email account often, log in and set up a forward to your regular account so that you still receive emails, but the employer only knows your professional address. As we have already mentioned, the advice we give you is based on feedback we receive from our employer partners. This is the sample resume. Please note the full page is used. There is minimal white space and no text spellage from one page to the other, and no typos. Lastly, your transcripts need to be included in your portfolio. Some employers use your transcripts to see what classes you've taken and to judge whether or not you should be granted an interview based on your previous grades. Not all employers do this, but some do. Before uploading your transcripts, it's a good idea to make sure that there are no formatting errors and you have checked to make sure that all of your grades were input properly. If you notice any errors, please notify the registrar's office immediately. To obtain your transcripts, you can log into UR Self-Serve on the main Regina website to access your unofficial transcript. An official transcript is not required, but if you prefer, you can order one by contacting the registrar's office. Official transcripts can take up to 1 week before they are available for pickup. Uploading your documents will be covered in the Place Pro session. However, we ask that you convert your transcript after downloading to a PDF format to avoid formatting errors during the upload process. Please make use of the Career Center and staff. We're here to help you. Please hand in a copy of your resume to your coordinator to review before you start applying for jobs. This way you can get helpful suggestions on help or formatting your resume, or even another set of eyes to correct grammar, spelling, etc. Hand in your resumes as soon as possible so that the coordinators can get it back to you quicker. It generally takes 24 hours to get edited resumes back to you. Either drop them off in person at the front desk in the Career Center or email them directly to your coordinator. If you have any questions at all, please stop in, call, or email your coordinator. Coordinators are very knowledgeable regarding career counseling, information on the industry. They have experience in job searching, as well as critiquing resumes and doing mock interviews to help you practice for any upcoming interviews you may have scheduled. The more you get to know your coordinator, the more they can help you find the best work placement. Please remember that getting a co-op or internship placement is up to you. We help create the opportunities, but ultimately, you are the one who gets the position. You need to put the work into getting a job for it to pay off. Make sure that you sign up for the interview, Place Pro, visa, and engineering workshops, if applicable, or view the other videos. There is very important information in these sessions, so please make sure that you attend to avoid confusion. Please review the student calendar on the co-op website or pick up a paper copy in the Career Center in regards to deadline dates, such as first application day, also called resume day, mandatory faculty sessions, or visa workshops. All of these sessions are listed on the calendar and are mandatory. If you miss a date, you could potentially be missing out on numerous jobs. Please pay attention to those deadlines. The onus is on you.